we get started, Dr. Rohen Kapur, whose name will be known to some people in the room, has joined us. Kapur is a candidate for the Young People's Party, which is broadly a Geo-Libertarian party.
A Geo-Libertarian party, correct.
Just to save you a little bit of explaining.
Yeah.
And he's actually standing in Corby. His name's down. So, over to you.
Right, well, thank you very much. Yeah. As Simon says, I'm standing in the Corby by-election, and we're a Geo-Libertarian party, so if we can count on your support. Any questions?
What do you mean support?
I mean, I don't know what's been happening in the libertarian arena for a while, but, you know...
No one in here is from Corby, as I understand it, so in practical terms, what do you mean by support?
I mean, you know, web presence, that sort of stuff, you know. We need blog articles, we need media, we need, you know, getting the message across about libertarianism.
Do you need leafleters? Do you need doorsteppers? Do you need people to stand in the high street?
We need people to nail posters to telegraph poles and stuff.
Is that legal?
Oh yeah, of course it's legal. It's an election, you know. You can't actually be, you know.
You've improved the value of their telegraph pole.
One interesting thing I'd just like to ask you: if you lasted for a few years, and good luck to you if you do.
Yeah.
Do you think that if you had one good core idea, one of the three major parties would nab it, and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it? Because I've seen that happen a couple of times with great ideas from minor parties. All these little focus group people who are studying the blogs, they're studying the media, they're thinking, that's excellent, hey, let's get that through to the boss and see what he thinks about it. Yeah, we love that. No copyright on an idea.
And ruin it. Like what do you mean?
Yeah,
don't worry, we're none of us are moles here, I don't think.
There are no copyright on ideas, but yeah, that is a possibility. But then again, we've taken the best bits of their policy and joined it all together.
Perfect.
What are your policies then? Are you looking at national issues, or are you fighting?
We've got a full manifesto up at the Blogspot, which is yppuk.blogspot.co.uk, and we've covered everything.
Well, what's your three big things you say when you knock on that door? Because you've got about 30 seconds to someone, and you knock on the door. What are you going to say to them?
We are in favour of getting rid of income tax and VAT, and getting rid of the EU.
No, that's a good start. Yeah.
I mean, local issues, the hospital is a big issue, and there's no nightlife in Corby for the young people. So, you know, they have to drive to Kettering or Northampton to get their nightlife.
So what's the party going to do?
Encourage a nightclub. Can you believe it? Yeah.
I mean, subsidise.
I want pub to close later.
Hmm?
I want pub to close later.
Yeah, I mean, there is no nightlife in Corby. Probably due to the Calvinistic Church of Scotland influence. So yeah, and there are currently 12 candidates standing, of which I'm one. We have Adam Lowton, we have Toby Joke, Monster Raving Mooney, we have Margot Parker for UKIP, we have Christine Emmett for Conservative, Andy Salford for Labour.
Are there any half-decent libertarians amongst that?
Is Dellingpole going to stand?
Dellingpole has.
He has,
Yeah.
He was talking
his new Twitter account is up.
Okay.
His new,
just out of interest.
His new Facebook page is up.
Sole issue.
You know, on the wind farms.
He's thrown his ring into a hat.
Yeah, he has. Or his hat into the ring.
Ah, yes, that was it.
And, you know, Dellingpole is standing. Christopher Scotton from the United People's Party is standing. Peter Reynolds from Clear, and Mr. Wickham from the English Democrats.
Wow.
So we have lots of people.
Your prospects for success?
Quicker to tell us who wasn't standing.
How are the bookies rating?
500 to 1.
500 to 1.
Have you bet
500 to 1.
Good luck.
Punt.
Is that
A pound, or?
to win or saving deposit?
I don't know. That's to win.
Oh,
That is to win. Labour on at 25-1,
Just to go back to your policies, to give you the credit, if a journalist
or 1 to 25.
if a journalist does speak to you and they've read your manifesto, no income tax, no VAT, how are you going to pay for the hospitals, the old age pensions, the children at school?
People will die in the streets.
We are cutting out a third of the waste from government. At the moment, deficit spending is costing us 100 billion a year. We are going to roll back spending to 2003, 2004 levels. There were plenty of hospitals, everything was working. The level of spending will be reduced, but we will still get the same services.
But this is a slight problem here. I mean, we hear from every political party cutting out waste. This is a mantra which they effectively state before every election, and yet at the same time they're never able to effectively excise the natural and exorbitant growth within state structures, which is embedded within them. Why should you and your policies and your party be any different to any other party which is grappling with the civil service?
So we've costed it out. Yeah, we have. We've costed it out. Mark Wadsworth works as a tax advisor and has costed it out fully.
what taxes do you have? VAT, flat tax?
No, we're going to have land value tax, or as Elizabeth I would say, poor rates, non-domestic rates. Non-domestic rates are currently applied. Businesses pay them. So will houses. But the fact is that because we're pulling a surplus every year, we'll be giving everybody a citizen's income of £75 per week. So your land value tax of £12,000 a year will be cancelled out by your citizen's income of £12,000 a year. So you will end up paying no tax. So an ordinary man living in an ordinary house will not pay any tax. People who have vast estates, vast lands, big houses, they will be the ones who will have to pay, because their yield from their land is bigger, and therefore they'll have to pay rates.
How will you effectively offset a natural injustice whereby people who have saved all their lives and live in large houses, even though they live on their own and they have poor income, would you have an offsetting mechanism to make
Absolutely.
sure? Absolutely. So it's not going to be a simple tax.
It's
You're
not
going
simple.
to have a bureaucracy in order to effectively
Most
identify those
of the actual valuation has already been done, because it will be based on rental value of that land.
Would that be rental value in a market massively distorted by government housing subsidies, planning regulations, limiting the access to building?
There are enough houses in Britain to cope. And yes, in the interim period there would be some adjustment.
And when you say yield on a house, are you're discussing the capital value, right?
No, we're not. We're not discussing the capital value.
Because there's no cash flow.
A house is not.
There's no yield on a house.
A house is not an investment. A house is a home.
So how you talk about a yield on a property?
That's
What
how much
yield
it would cost to rent. How much would it cost to rent your house?
So you have to rent your own house off yourself by paying a tax to you.
You have to pay a tax to the government by
To
saying.
live in your own house, you pay.
Yeah, because you have to pay for the rates. I mean, don't forget we're getting rid of council tax, so somebody has to come and take your rubbish away. Someone has to do your street lights. Someone has to. Yeah, that all has to be paid for.
So I've been proposing to privatise all of those things as well. Privatise clearing of waste, privatise the streetlight maintenance, privatise...
There still needs to be a role for certain tasks to be done by government.
Why?
Why not?
Why not an expenditure tax then, rather than a tax on assets on the person? For example, the person.
We're not taxing assets. We're taxing
Why no
land
tax?
value. For example, the land in the square mile would yield a much higher land value tax than an acre of
Farmland?
farmland. Absolutely.
What about a tower block that goes up in the sky? There are plenty of empty tower blocks in London. How does that work? I mean, literally, I don't know. How does it work?
Depends on how much the rental value of that
You're talking
particular
about
piece
footage
of
on the
land.
ground. You're talking about meterage or whatever, or hectares or
about
whatever it is on the
square
ground.
footage, yes.
Yeah. What about when it goes up, up, up?
Then you see how much that is rented.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just ask you something?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think this is going down the wrong track. I mean, everybody's going off on his manifesto and blah blah blah.
I mean, you're talking about something that might not even happen just yet.
yeah. I mean, okay, it's irrelevant. What's it like getting the party started? I mean, what are the costs been? What are the stumbling blocks to getting going, to getting exposure? Have you spoken to any media? Are they open, to different ideas? I mean,
So,
who do you
so how are you
speak
getting
to?
on as a party?
We're getting on slowly. I mean, the Northants Telegraph knows about us. The BBC now knows about us because, I complained to them that they hadn't put our names up, so they did. Forced them into doing it. There is a debate at Houndel School on November the 4th. 4 candidates have been invited. The rest of us are all welcome to attend. 7:30, Houndel School. And the other 8 candidates are invited to the audience, and that's Michael Crick. So, I'll be there heckling from the sidelines and asking inconvenient questions. So that's the way to get publicity.
Has Andrew Neil invited you for an interview yet?
Sunday Times? Ex-Sunday Times?
No, it's just he interviewed a
Political.
previous libertarian. He interviewed another libertarian a few years ago with interesting results.
It's fairly traumatic.
Oh,
There was
Chris
what was that?
Mounsey.
There was section.
Oh, yes. No, he hasn't invited me yet.
The royalties.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Last question, Pavel.
What do you know about the blogger Anna Raccoon and her article about the Libertarian Party?
Fair question. Fair question.
I know Anna Raccoon. I know what the Libertarian Party was doing. And I'm afraid I have no comment because, I simply haven't. I took the view that I wasn't going to get involved.
Can I ask you a question? What sort of demographic do you think will be willing to vote for these policies? I mean, will it be the aspirational classes, you C1 or C2s? Do you think you'll get A's and B's voting for you? What are you targeting in terms of, win? How do you intend to win?
Young people who are disenfranchised by the major 3 parties.
So you actually want to create a new constituency which currently is disenfranchised and currently doesn't vote?
Exactly.
Doesn't have any land.
And doesn't have any land. Because once you've been turned to the dark side by a rising house price, it's like heroin.
I know, but I'm just going to say from historical experience, in order to win within a political system, you usually have to form a sort of broad church of both existing voters and bringing new people within the system. To try and work it by creating a sort of political revolution is perhaps slightly utopian.
Well, no point in doing it unless you want to try.